Welcome back to SALT, our school of accountable living, timing, and earning. This is our school where we have our values, our homes. We discuss that. We discuss how to finance the homes. We discuss how to have faith in ourselves, how to build trust and build up. Today, like we mentioned in our last video, we are discussing what makes a successful cooperative. Having seen that we need an economic system that does not downplay our humanity, and communalism is one such. Communalism allows us the freedom, communalism allows us choice of how we pursue wealth creation, and it must come from a purpose. Communalism allows us to develop traditions, be a people. That's basically what it allows us. Now, and we saw in our last video that cooperative is one thing, one system that can allow me and you to wield power without force or deception. As we know, there are three channels to power, three channels, and everyone you've seen today in the corridors or in the thrones or in the roof of power, those in the parlors, in the sitting rooms of power, they arrive there by one or more of these channels. Once you combine more than one, you are operating something called manipulation or witchcraft. It's either you come to power by force, physical aggression, you fight what you subdue, and you are in charge. In the country where it is allowed and you are in charge, you sustain yourself by forcing others. That's arriving at power by force. The second channel to power is deception. Deception has one meaning: it cannot be painted. You present something to look like what it is not, and therefore you manipulate someone, you make someone do for you what he wouldn't normally have done for you, or give you what he would naturally have not given to you. Deception. A lot of people in politics in this country today operate not force in its pure form, and not deception in its pure form. The third channel and most powerful channel to power is love. In the case of love, you don't force people, you don't deceive them, they give you the power. That's what democracy has always tried hard to achieve, to attain. But the pure form of it is actually way higher than man can achieve, because of the tainted nature of our existence. Our minds are tainted already with impure thoughts. So people keep combining a little love and benevolence, some deception, and a good dose of force to arrive at political power. But when it comes to cooperative power, the cooperative power is a system that enables me and you to help each other, to actually show true love to each other. And so you don't need force, you don't need deception. Men have operated this system for several centuries now, and they always consistently arrive at good results. Or I would say, arrive and maintain good results until deception or manipulation sets in from any angle. People don't want to be manipulated. People don't want to be deceived. People don't want to be forced. They want to be loved. Cooperative guarantees this. So in today, as we are looking at what makes a successful cooperative, a particular wise man gave us an iteration, people that have succeeded, a look at systems that work, that have worked for many decades. and are still working today will show you that the number one thing that make a cooperative to succeed, and even international agencies will use this to judge a cooperative whether it is successful or not, is your ability to solve needs of your members, economic and financial needs of your members, in a way that is fair and just, not in a way that is lopsided, not like in a church system where one person could fall into one hard time and everyone will rally around to raise funds to bail this person out. Another person falls into the same hard time and like, how can we do for this person what we did for the other person? Okay, it has become our rule. Let's do for everybody the same thing. In the cooperative aspect, the first question will be, how committed is this person? If this person is committed to this extent, do for him or her so and so and so, in order to alleviate the hard times into which he or she has fallen. So the first thing with which a cooperative will be rated, either successful or not successful, to what extent it meets the needs, it satisfies the lacks of the members. Number two is, how efficient is it in paying back its debts? Because cooperatives gather funds from people, gather resources from people, skill sets, sometimes assets like land and property from different persons, and gather it together for a particular purpose that will benefit every member. Whether we call it loan, debenture, or whatever, they are still loans. They are funds that will go back to their owners. So how good is the system evolved by this cooperative in paying back all these loans? Number three, a cooperative will equally be judged based on how good it is in growing its asset base. We've talked about paying off loans, that's reducing liability base. Number four, every cooperative will be judged on how it has been able to develop a culture. You know the difference between a community of human beings and a community of apes or a community of antelopes. The difference is what? Culture, our value system, what is dear to us beyond money. Cooperative will be judged, successful or not successful, based on how good it has been in developing a tradition, a culture of procedures and processes, how things are done, maintaining it over time, giving it like a stake so that the human character will start twining around it. People can grow their own economy around the stability of how our cooperative works. Now, a cooperative will equally be judged successful or not successful. Not to the extent it manipulates the political class and political government, but to what extent it becomes a contributor to government efforts at helping the masses, at alleviating poverty, at building up people, building up businesses, employing people, creating employment. The cooperative will be judged successful or not to the extent to which it is able to key in, not to the extent to which it is able to access government intervention funds and World Bank intervention funds, but to what extent it is able to solve problems, and to the point of even achieving the goals that governments of the day are setting. In their own programs, they are setting goals. Okay, we'll lift 10 million people out of poverty. Look, even as a cooperative, you can lift 5 of those 10 million out of poverty, even without any government funding. You can lift 10, you can lift 100, you can lift quite a number out of poverty. And that will count for you as a criterion for success, measuring your success. In today, we've seen that we use to measure us as successful or not successful, a cooperative. In subsequent videos, we'll be seeing efforts, practical efforts that cooperatives have made to attain success. What policies they put in place to make sure that their asset base is increasing, their liability base is diminishing, that members are satisfied, and that government, we are not going against government development strides. We will be moving in the direction of the government of the day, but at the grassroots, affecting lives, making lives better. This is the core that every cooperative must try to achieve. If you are, like I said before, a country as big as Nigeria, more than 200 million people, with just 5 cooperatives in the rank of the Credit Agricole, or the Mondragon, or the Cooperative Group of UK, just about 3 to 5. Sure, 3 cooperatives in Nigeria, because they will inspire so much more. You have 3 cooperatives in Nigeria that each of them is more than 3 million members. You will wield so much power, you will have so much resources that you can change market directions, you can change market sentiments, you can change a lot of things because of the sheer population you have. You can imagine where just 3,000 members of a cooperative society save just 1,000 naira every month. An average of 1,000 naira every month times 3 million. You're looking at 3 billion naira already every month just flowing in. That fund is enough to create systems of production that will pay the bills, the salaries of those working there, and even bring back some small profit back to the owners of the fund. And the owners of the fund, the families, are not stretched by saving 1,000 naira, 2,000, or even 10,000 naira in some cases in a whole month. Most of the families rated as poor in Nigeria, actually, you say they live on less than $1 a day. Living on less than $1 a day translates today's reality as you live on less than 700 naira a day, which quite a number of people do. Quite a very good chunk of people live on less than 700 naira a day, and yet they still make some savings. They can still save 1,000 naira in a whole month and more than that. So today's lesson, take it home that as a cooperative, you will be judged by several things. You will be judged on how much you satisfy your members, how much you work in sync and not against government policies, how efficient you are in creating of your own procedures, culture, traditions, how things get done and done well for the profiting of everyone. Thank you very much.